Bruce Lee, martial arts were often divided into strict schools and rigid systems. Karate had its stances and kata, judo had its throws and locks, taekwondo had its dynamic kicks, kung fu had its animal forms and philosophies. Students would often spend years, or even a lifetime, training in just one system, memorizing its patterns, and respecting its hierarchy. Each school guarded its knowledge closely. If you were a karateka, you practiced karate and looked down on kung fu. If you were a boxer, you ignored kicks because you believed punches ruled the fight. Styles were not just fighting systems, they were identities, cultures, and sometimes even rivalries. The martial arts world was divided by boundaries. But Bruce Lee wasn't satisfied with boundaries. He saw something that others refused to see, that real combat doesn't follow rules, stances, or traditions. Real fighting is unpredictable. And in real combat, being stuck to only one martial art can limit you instead of empowering you. Bruce Lee's awakening, from Wing Chun to beyond. Bruce Lee's journey began with Wing Chun Kung Fu, a style rooted in Chinese tradition, emphasizing close-range combat, fast punches, and strong defensive structures. As a teenager in Hong Kong, Bruce trained under the legendary Ip Man and became highly skilled in this art. But when Bruce moved to America, he started facing fighters from different backgrounds: boxers, wrestlers, karate practitioners, and street fighters. He quickly realized something shocking: Wing Chun alone was not enough. Yes, Wing Chun gave him speed and precision, but what about long-range kicking? What about ground fighting? What about the raw, powerful punches of a Western boxer? This was Bruce Lee's awakening. He understood that no matter how good a martial art claimed to be, it had gaps. And in a real fight, gaps can cost you everything. Why Bruce Lee rejected the idea of the best martial art. Bruce Lee once said, "All fixed set patterns are incapable of adaptability." The truth is outside of all fixed patterns. To him, the problem wasn't that martial arts lacked effectiveness. The problem was that they became rigid. They forced students to memorize traditions instead of adapting to reality. Imagine being told you can only use high kicks because that's your style even if your opponent is too close for a kick. Imagine being told never to punch because you're a Taekwondo fighter. Bruce Lee saw this as nonsense. That's why he rejected the very idea of a best martial art. To him, the best martial art was no single art. Instead, it was about absorbing what works from every style and discarding what doesn't. The birth of Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee's answer. Out of this philosophy, Bruce Lee created his own approach, Jeet Kune Do, or the way of the intercepting fist. But here's the key: Bruce didn't call Jeet Kune Do a martial art. He called it a philosophy of fighting. Unlike traditional styles, JKD had no fixed forms, no rigid kata, and